Hello, everybody. It is June 23rd, 2025. It's Joe with the Strange Voyage files. Now, I did a video where I talked about bands that people assume I like just because I like hard rock and heavy metal. And one of the bands in that video was Led Zeppelin. And I kind of did different categories. And one of the categories I did was bands that I wish I could get into more, that I'm just not really into. Led Zeppelin falls into that category. Again, Led Zeppelin is one where I absolutely understand the how great the musicians are and how great these songs are. Just for some reason, they do not resonate with me. And I've listened to the albums. I've listened to the albums many times, and I just really can't get into them. My favorite album, though, that I found was Houses of the Holy. I'm not putting that. I am not putting that album cover up. I scanned. There's a. I do have the album, and then there's this thing that comes on it. I scanned this thing in, and this is our background. That's as far as I'm going with this album cover. I own this. This is mine. This was me. But yeah, I'm not. This is not an album cover. I'm putting a picture up of. And you all know why. So I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna rank. I am not playing any music from this album. One thing I do know about Led Zeppelin is, especially from Shrek, because I saw an interview. I think it was with Mike Myers, but it was one of those. One of the interviews with Shrek where they do have when the princesses come out and the animals come flying out behind them, they do sample Led Zeppelin. And I remember in the interview they said they would not give them permission to do it, but you have fair use of, like, I don't even know, 10 seconds or something goofy like that. And they said they watched the clock to use to sample that song, and it, once they hit whatever the 10-15 second mark or whatever it may be, they stop the song. So I would assume if I tried to play any music from Led Zeppelin, that the video would be pulled. It would, it would just be useless to do. So I'm going to do my ranking and then talk a little bit about, because in listening to this album again, I just listened to it again for the first time, probably in 2 years. I mean, Led Zeppelin is not a band I visit every so often. So it could have even been 3 years since the last time. I know this is the last album I've listened to because it's the one I enjoy the most. But again, it's probably been 2 years for sure, possibly 3 years since I've actually listened to this. So I just listened to this album again. I'm going to go through with my ranking. Song remains the same. I give that a 4. Jimmy Page's guitar in that song for me is awesome. So that one's a great song. The next one, the Rain song. And this is what I'm kind of finding as to why I'm not able to really get into Zeppelin. It's slow, which is fine, but I don't like the changes in the songs. They just, and I see, and listening to this album, they're very complex songs, which is why I think a lot of people like them, and that's phenomenal. I just don't like how they arrange the songs a lot of the times, and I think that's why I may not be a Zeppelin fan. So the Rain song is a 2. I really didn't enjoy that one at all. The next one is Over the Hills and Far Away. That's a 5. I love that song. That song is a jam. It is. It starts off slow with Robert Plant's voice is beautiful. Again, Jimmy sounds fabulous. And then when it goes into the ripping rest of the song, it's Bonham is everything that everyone always said he was. Over the Hills and Far Away, I think, is a perfect song. Absolutely perfect song. That's a 5 for sure. The next one, The Crunge, that's a 2. And again, this is going to be weird because I like Sabbath, and I like Sabbath. I know Sabbath is very blues driven. This one, though, the Crunge seemed a little bit too bluesy for me. I give it a 2. I don't like the changes of that song. The next one, Dancing Days, I knew Dancing Days. I mean, just from, not just being a Houses of the Holy being my favorite Led Zeppelin album. I give Dancing Days a 3. I love the guitar work in that one. I think Jimmy again shows what kind, shows how much of a legend he is. But that one was always kind of a little annoying to me. Let's see. The next one is. Hang on, am I screwing up here? Oh no, I'm doing good. I'm sorry. Dancing Days. Okay. Die Your Maker, Do Your Maker. However, it is 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that one's a 4. My buddy used to love that song and play that all the time. I think it's got a really good groove to it. Yeah, that one's definitely a 4. The next one is No Quarter. I like that one. It's kind of it's got a new age feel to it, in my opinion. I give that one a 4 too. The last one is The Ocean, and I give that a 4. It just seems like it's a jam. And again, the band is on fire overall. So adding this up, it comes up to a 3.5, and you round up it to a 4. That would make sense for me. Because again, I'm not a big enough Led Zeppelin fan to say that an album would be a 5 for me. It just wouldn't be. And again, it's not like Rush. I hate Rush. I don't get Rush. I there is nothing about Rush I enjoy. I think they absolutely suck. I don't understand how they sold any albums. That's not the case with like Rush. I would give 0, ones, because I said in the beginning I'm not going to do zeros for songs, but they'd be ones across the board. I cannot stand Rush. That's not the case with Led Zeppelin. They are a great band. They're great musicians. I get it. It just isn't for me. And again, I think, and in listening to this album, what threw me off for a lot of these songs was the changes. The way the songs progress and they do the changes in the songs, that's what kind of throws me. So, and again, I understand it. It kind of makes no sense because Sabbath does the same thing. I mean, you have songs like The Thrill of It All. You have songs like Megalomania. You know, Under the Sun. These are songs where there are changes, big changes throughout the song. I don't know. Sabbath seems to do it better for me. I don't get it. But it was fun. This was great listening to this album again. I'll probably give it another try in the near future. Again, I've listened to Volume 4. I've listened to Physical Graffiti. Those seem to be everyone's favorites. I don't know. Put this in the comments. I don't know if Houses of the Holy is a favorite, like their best album by Zeppelin fans. Sabbath fans can be all over the place. Volume 4 is some people's favorite album. For me, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is my favorite album. A lot of people think that too. Master of Reality, Paranoid. They can be all over the place with Black Sabbath. From what I know of Led Zeppelin, it's usually Volume 4 or Physical Graffiti. I've never heard anybody say Houses of the Holy is Led Zeppelin's best album. So I've never heard anyone knock it either. The only one I think was Presence, and I think that's leftover stuff after John Bonham died. Tell me if I'm wrong. Not a big enough Led Zeppelin fan to know. And I think that's the only one that kind of gets criticism. But again, I will definitely listen to Led Zeppelin again. It's not something where I'm just going to give up. If anything, I'd like to like parts of albums. And again, there's stuff, there are a lot of Led Zeppelin songs that are good that are not on this album too. There are Led Zeppelin songs that I've heard so many times I'm sick of, that I do like. So it's kind of a work in progress, but I wanted to do this. I thought it would be fun to kind of do Led Zeppelin because I talked about him in that previous video. and listen to them again and kind of see where I am with it. So, Houses of the Holy, a 4. I mean, that's definitely. I mean, hell, that's like up there. I think with like I think I gave Bark at the Moon a 4, and I love that album. Maybe it was a 5. But I mean, fours are that's a very respectable number. My scale's 1 to 5, so 4 is a great place to be. All right, well, like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Hit that notification bell, and see you soon.